welcome into a new edition of Chi Time with me, Clara Apollo, here on YouTube, but also on podcast, streaming as Clara Apollo's Chi Time. And as you know, I love to have guests coming on that are going to speak what's going on behind the scenes, what helps them do what it is they are doing. And we've got Lui Krieg is with us. He is the Glastonbury's crystal wizard, and he has been on Chi Time before 3 years ago, and I would like to point you to that interview. Not right now, I'm going to put a little link for you at the bottom, but I really recommend that you do listen to that if you're remotely interested in crystals, which of course a lot of us are, because he shares with us a lot of the wisdom about how crystals are grown in the earth, and the ethical mining of crystals as well, a really good point, and the range and properties of quartz crystals that are so key for us at this time, and also how to prepare crystals for programming, like when there's a full moon, and the growing, how you grow your own chi connection with your particular crystals. This is one of my big faves. And we also talk about energy hygiene, which is something that I think is very, very key. You know, where we place our energy is so important. So we are recording this in November 2024, and in traditional Chinese medicine, this is the time of the crystals or the metal element. So it feels really, really ripe and right that Lui is here with us again to share with us what's been going on in the last 3 years. So welcome back to Chi Time, Lui.
Pleasure to be back. Thanks for inviting me back. And it's great to be here today with you.
Oh, can you believe it was 3 years ago?
No, I can't. But then so much has happened in those 3 years that, yes, I can. It doesn't feel like 3 years, but it feels like 5 years because so much has happened.
Well, yeah, exactly. But isn't time a weird thing? It just muck around with us, doesn't it? Because sometimes when you're in the sort of in the zone, so to speak, we feel quite timeless, and I think this is coming through more and more when we do our practices. But then
Totally. I totally agree with you. I think the more we explore meditation, spirituality, chi, the more time disappears. Really, I've just come back from Germany, my mother's 90th birthday, and I'm like, wow, my mom is 90 years old. I can't believe it. And so time we just it's an illusion.
Well, this is it, and because we're kind of straddling the different dimensions now, particularly like 3D and 5D is what's really being spoken about and tuned into. I know there's a lot of other Ds that we can tune in with as well above that, but you know, it is this word straddle, isn't it? How do we manage to be in this sort of linear time zone, 3D, but also nurturing our spirituality and moving into a more of a 5-dimensional existence? How is that for you?
For me, it's going really, really well. I've definitely expanded from 3D to 5D. It's part of my spiritual practice. It's part of my meditation. It's part of my work with crystals, but it's also part of my work with sound and vibrations, frequencies, chanting, toning, singing. Performing is the latest thing on my list. Performing is just like it's become so important for me, and to touch people with my performance and bringing together all these magical elements from power of the word to resonance of the sound to the right delivery. It's just a real magical learning process for me at this moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely. And all those things that you mention are all part of being part of the different dimensions. So I don't think it's about separating them so much. Yeah, it's about where we place our intention and where we particularly want to have our own energy, but it's being able to weave our multidimensional existence, and sound and crystals and meditation, qigong, yoga, all of these things help us to do that, right?
Absolutely. And this is part of our spiritual practice. And that's why at this point in my life, I feel like I'm on top of the world because I'm keeping up. There is no laziness. There has to be discipline on your spiritual practice on an everyday level that is together also the food that you eat, the air that you breathe, the water that you drink, all of that has become so important for me, and every moment counts now. And that's why time seems to be disappearing, because we're in the moment, and
We are.
that is where we want to be.
That is such a good point. When we're in the moment, we're actually present. This is the big gift, isn't it, right now, when we're in the present moment. And we're really grateful to you watching and listening for being with us here on Chi Time and sharing your presence and your present moment with us. And Lui Krieg from Glastonbury's Stone Age, that's where he hangs out, but so much more. We've got lots and lots to share with you about on this episode. But first of all, we're going to go to that magical stone, the Golden Tektite, he has got a lot of reportage going on about it at the moment. I know that you brought it into my awareness, and this lovely beautiful stone here is this pale
Which
golden. You've got
literally
yours as
resonates
well.
with this beautiful
I
stone,
know.
because it is the same stone,
It's the same
Libyan
one.
gold tektite.
So
Uh, for me, the true stone of spiritual awakening, but also the stone of stepping into your true power level. The favorite stone of the Egyptian pharaohs. That's why we depict the Ankh on this stone, because those two, the stone and the symbol, work together on such a powerful level. And that's where I'd like to ask you, what was your experience since you're wearing this piece?
oh yeah, well, it's been about a couple of weeks now, and to begin with, I mean, I had like quite a detoxification. I had a sty on my eye, which actually turned into blepharitis, which is like, okay, that needs to clear out of that side of my brain probably. But what I could feel was just like a realigning, like I'd never experienced before. And what was really paramount was this sorting out of my priorities into what is utterly non-negotiable. And you mentioned before personal practice, absolutely nothing is getting done before that now, and that's where I drop back into time and again. When you feel out of sorts or under resourced, personal practice is key, and it can vary from day to day, because I feel that this stone is pointing me more and more to this expansive sense of being. In fact, the first night I wore it, I had a dream that all the angels that I have around me, that are usually placed, all had expanded their field around me, and
Yes.
that had then expanded my field. And it was like, okay, we are now going into super expansion zone. And so
Yeah.
your practice, your connections have to be pristine, I feel, as we step
Yes.
forward. And
Yes.
this stone helps you to keep choosing, keep the discernment piece up. It is really
Yes.
important who you hang out with, what you listen to,
So
and as you
important.
said,
Yes.
what it is you eat as well. Yeah.
Yes. And it really raises your level of vibration and your own vibration, but also it makes you raise the level of vibration of the people you hang out with. Like you say, it's so important. The friends around you. And also, it's just what I feel, that it really takes away all limitations. This stone removes personal limitation levels that have existed for years, and maybe even from birth. Suddenly, you start to believe in yourself. Suddenly, you feel like you can actually achieve this that you have been dreaming of for such a long time, but you haven't really dared to manifest it. And that's when you start kicking into action, and then that's when the manifestation process starts, by first of all by really realizing what you actually want, then by making, like you say, making this your priority and keeping your focus on this all the time. When you do your manifestation rituals, and they work really well if you include the Libyan tektite as well, that's when you really, really start to pierce through these limitations. And suddenly you see this glowing golden ray of sunshine and success piercing through, and it just fills you up again with this energy, just like this stone does,
Yeah.
because you know where it's found, right?
Okay, so let's have a little bit of a history. Where did this Libyan golden tektite come from? Oh, clue in the name
Oh,
there, Libyan, but it has a
yeah.
fantastic history. So do tell us about this, please, Louis.
Yes, absolutely. So for that, we have to go back 29 million years ago in time of world history, 29 years ago, 29 million years ago, a meteorite was on collision course with Mother Earth, and it hit Mother Earth exactly whereas today Egypt on the border to Libya. They call it Libyan gold tektite, but it's actually found in Egypt mostly. And what happened for this, that what is actually on a scientific level, what creates a tektite, because the Libyan gold is a tektite just like moldavite, for example, which a lot of people are familiar with the moldavite, the star-born stone of transformation that's been awakening people for the last 30 years. Now we're moving towards the next generation of tektite, the golden tektite, because gold, it's all about solar plexus. So that what happened is that that meteorite actually imploded before it actually hit the earth. And that's what created these huge temperature that allowed heaven and earth to melt together. If this meteorite would have hit into the earth, it would have been a completely different scenario. So it exploded, imploded, and showered millions of pieces down on the desert floor. And that's where they got washed over by sand. They were there for millions of years. They were waiting there. They were waiting for the Egyptians to come riding up in their camels and find this stone for the first time. And when the Egyptians found that stone and held it up to the sun, they immediately recognized that this stone holds a very, very powerful message that comes from the universe, from outer space. It has a message implanted, a frequency implanted that is now, thousands of years later, affecting thousands of people all around the planet and awakening these people to their true power level so they can walk like gods on planet Earth, just like the Egyptians did.
Wow. Superpower. And if you want to get hold
That's
of
it. That's the word. Superpowered.
superpower. And weren't you saying when I was in Stone Age the other day in Glastonbury that I'm talking to the lovely Heather. Hello, Heather. And she was saying that is it 50% of your sales are now in golden tektite? Is that correct?
As this stone became so important for me, myself personally, and
Yeah.
I could feel this expansion and this empowerment inside of myself. I made this the stone that I want to promote with Stone Age to everybody out
Right.
there.
Because this is all about, 5D ways. We're here not just to empower ourselves, but everyone else. And I really feel this with you, Louis. You're such a community guy. You want people to come on this journey with you. And
Absolutely. If I have something good, I want to share it with
yes,
everybody.
yes, yes,
And
yes,
that's
yes,
the whole
yes.
idea, especially if I have something powerful, I want to share it with
Yes,
everybody.
yes.
So yes, 50%, maybe even more than 50%. But what the interesting thing is, and maybe while you were in the shop, I think even while you were in the shop, people walk in the shop and they say, where is that Libyan gold tektite? I want some of that. That's how it is. Or people come to the shop, they buy one stone, a week later they come back with their whole family and they say, wow, this is the stone, this is what you need to buy. And this is how this spiritual wildfire is spreading now all over the planet, because that is what we need: personal empowerment, people that can hold their space, that can draw a line to what they're allowed to be done to this planet. And that's also to do that we will have to make a stand to what is going on at this moment in time. But I say no more.
That's for another chapter of cheating.
Yes.
Because my question for you now is, how did the golden tektite change your life? And when did you first come across it? What happened once you started working with it?
Probably first came across it about 10 years ago on one of these big gem shows in America, the Tucson Gem Show. At that point, nobody had ever seen that stone. I haven't even heard about that stone, never mind seen it. Suddenly, I walk into this showroom of a Russian exhibitor, because at that point, 10, 12 years ago, Libya was under with different political, with Gaddafi, and only the Russians were actually allowed there. And he went there to that site and collected the first batch of Libyan gold tektite. As soon as I walked into the showroom, I got completely blown away. I just couldn't believe the energy in this showroom. And I said, yes, I want it all. I want it all. But anyway, so I started to collect the first pieces. And that's where I met the stone the first time. I actually then didn't see it again for about 3, 4 years, because then there was that whole change in Libya and everything was upside down. And then I could first time see it again, but coming from the Egyptian side. So what actually happened after that meteorite impact, the stone was waiting. The Egyptian found it in the desert. They brought it back. They showed it to their pharaohs, and the pharaohs immediately said, I want that stone carved in scarab beetles. I want this stone to be available for all my high priests, my priestesses, for all ceremonies, for all, and even the necklace that Tutankhamun is wearing in his sarcophagus has this stone as the centerpiece of a chest plate carved into a scarab beetle. That already shows, we all know the Egyptians knew what they were doing, and they were guided by the stars. They were guided by the star being. They might have even been helped to build those pyramids by aliens or powers from outer space. You never know. And certainly they had the power of the Libyan tektite to support them, and that gave them the connection to the cosmos and to what is out there on vibrational and wisdom and consciousness. All of that is connected with that stone.
Cool. So I'm going to ask you now, do you think, because Tutankhamun's, I went to see the exhibition when I was a kid up in London, and it blew my mind, and I've never been the same again since, in a good way, you understand. But the fact that there was a golden tektite scarab on that sarcophagus, what did they think that was? Did the Egyptians knew what it was? What about the rest of the world? And have they not been curious about golden tektite before now? Why has it taken this long for it to come in? Or do you think now is when we absolutely need it? Or, what are your thoughts on that?
It's a good question. I don't like to go into any conspiracies, but actually the stone was labeled wrong in the Cairo Museum. It was actually labeled as a chalcedony, as an earth stone. And, it's like, I would be so surprised if the Egyptian can't see the difference between a chalcedony and a Libyan gold tektite. Well, certainly I can see it straight away with my first glance. So there's always this kind of movement of trying to, like I don't want to say suppress things that make normal people more powerful.
Well, go on, you just did. And I would have said it if you
Sorry,
hadn't.
that's not working anymore, because we got magic on our side, and the stone just has decided to come out and show itself to the world, and the stone has chosen me as its main promoter to the world, because I go over to America now to all the big gem shows, and all I promote is this stone, because that is the stone for this moment in time. So join me.
Yes, join us on the Golden Tektite mission, and so many of us around this area and beyond that are wearing. So the question that you have not answered yet. I'm sorry, I asked you two questions at once.
Please do. I like to get carried away, and so ask me again.
I love you getting carried away. It's always great, your stories. So how has this changed your life, Lui? What has the Golden Tektite crystal done for you particularly?
Let me tell you one thing. Let me start on a physical level. Okay, it really made me look at my whole physical exercise program again, and it made me totally reevaluate my age, stroke, exercise sequence. And I thought, I can step up. I don't need to slow down. I have to step up my physical exercise. I have to get stronger. I have to get more powerful for what is coming. So that's first thing on a physical level. On a mental level, of course, I already said it has removed all these limitations that I had before, all from upbringing, where when you was told, oh, you're not strong enough, you're not good enough, you're not sweet enough to do this, and all this stuff that sticks with you, it's just all blown into orbit, kind of. It's all open space now. It's all there for me for the taking. And so also it has helped me over 2 hip replacements that are very, very, very serious operations. But also again, while I was down with my hip replacement, I couldn't move. I was making Libyan Tektite bracelets. I made hundreds of those while I was on the bed, waiting for my feet to work again. And these are my superpower Louis bracelets. Anyway, so that was the next thing. And it made me really recover very, very strong and very, very powerful. And again, it made me say, no, I'm not going to take it easy now. I'm going to step up the game. And I started to do sit-ups, and I started to doing all this stuff. And now people were already saying, oh, look at Louis, he's limping. He's doing, he's got this, he's got a hip replacement. And now everybody's like, wow, look at Louis. He's just walking like he used to. And this is the kind of thing. It's all connected to the Libyan gold tektite. However, the biggest support that I had with the Libyan tektite is actually on my, I told you that I decided 5 years ago to stop my work with sound healing, and I decided to become a rock star. Now, that's obviously that's when I'm not going to say it, but I was 5 years younger. But I've decided, okay, I'm done with this. Now I'm going to become a rock star because I love rock music. I've grown up with rock music. Rock music is so powerful, and it has such a strong power to cut through illusions and to really, really point the finger like it did in the 60s and the 70s, where it was such a powerful media that helped to change society and the way people were thinking, and brought in a new generation. And so it's an easy thing. Oh, you say, oh, I want to become a rock star. Hey, but what are you going to do about it? How are you going to actually start to manifest that, apart from doing manifestation rituals and putting things out into universe? Okay. I started to write songs. And 5 years ago, I wrote my first song. It was called I'm Ready. One of my favorite songs. Then I've kind of developed, and it was also through the whole lockdown thing. I had so many ideas and I wrote so many songs, and they were not normal songs. There were songs about our planet Earth and about the state of the planet and the people, and very, very deep things came through that, again, I want to say, a lot of it came from above. I didn't write these songs. They came through me. I was channeling them. And again, I was channeling them with the help of the Libyan gold tektite that surrounds me everywhere. So, great start. It didn't take me long, and I had 15 songs. I have now 35 songs that I've written. So I have actually the hardware is there. Then I had all these songs produced by my producer, Paul Voss, and I brought them to life from word to actually being a song. And, one after the other, we started to record them, and it sounded great. And I was like, yeah, I'm on the right track here. I'm on the right track. Next thing happened. Okay, I thought, I need a band now. Okay, so what you do when you look for a band kind of thing, it's obviously there's plenty of musicians in Glastonbury, and I have a history of playing live in Glastonbury already since 15 years. But I always play with different people. Every time it's a different guitarist or a different bass player or a different drummer. And so it's a thing where I decided what I need now is I need a band, and I need a band that really brings this all together. I need a very good band that knows what they're playing. So, do you want to hear the story? How I found
I
my
do,
band?
absolutely. It's so fascinating how you've gone from being crystal wizard doing sound healing
Yes.
into finding this expansive golden tektite that was inspiring
Yeah.
the Egyptians with their power to go,
Yes.
this is what I want to do. Not only do I want to make rock and roll music, but it's going to have a spiritual message, and I want
Yeah.
to be with really great musicians. So yes,
Yes.
tell us what happened next, Louis.
Well, also the interesting thing, I tell you one other thing, Clara, that I've realized actually just by, when I went to my mom for an annual, we were looking at these old pictures of mine from 5, 10 years ago, and I look completely different. My hair looked different, and now I do look like a rock star, right? Can you confirm that, please? Yes, I didn't
Yes,
look like a rock
yes,
star
yes,
5 years
yes.
ago. If
You
I show you
didn't,
a picture, you think,
yeah.
is that Louis? Is that really? So it's this thing, and hey, listen, Clark, this. The Buddha, when you visualize something, it becomes reality.
Yeah.
And so I visualized myself as a rock star all the time. This is part of the manifestation ritual. So I visualized myself and I morphed into my hair started growing back and I started to get curly like that. And I don't know, with all the exercise I was doing, I was getting slimmer, and I start just now. You look at me on stage in my new video, the Christmas one. I look like the most epic rock star. So that is how you make things happening over years. You can even change your looks, your appearance, everything.
So I think this is really speaking into the power that each and every one of your cells is getting. That the activation of the golden tektite at a cellular level activates the chi in there
Yes,
for your highest
yes.
ability. And I think with this, you were talking about how it helps you sort out your physicality. Well, I'm on a path now of finding out the reason why I've had a chronic health problem that I've tried all sorts of angles on, and now this weekend the penny dropped is exactly what it is, and I'm like, it's got to be working with this because we've got it in our water as well, haven't we? There's little shards of
I have it
like
in the
in your
water.
water.
I have it in my bath. I have it in my blessings. I have it everywhere. I'm wearing it. Oh my God. You want to see the big one?
Okay, then he's going to show us
You
the
want to
big.
see the big one?
Go on then.
1 second
One second, please.
to show you something. So when I got so literally so I realized the real power of this stone. I actually made me the most incredible golden tektite neck piece. Right? Can you see that?
Ooh, not only can I see it, I can feel it humming. It
Ah,
feels
and
like it's humming
that
at me.
in the evening when I do my meditations, that goes over my head like this. And then I put it right here on my throat, and I'm going to leave it there for now. But this is just everything. Now I'm breathing through the whole Libyan. I'm literally breathing through it. This is how I integrate it into every cell of my being, and this is how I meditate every evening.
Beautiful. And this call to self-empowerment, just before we go into the name of your new rock
I'm
band,
going to take it off
let's
again.
let's let's talk about this because so much is happening in our world. It is a really, chaotic time. It's basically the chaos before the new earth opens, or that we are creating this now. We're both in a dying process and a birthing process, and
Yeah.
it's just like it can be quite discombobulating. Hence, call to personal practice. Where do you feel stronger? What helps you? What can you say no to? Not just for November, but for
Yeah.
other times as well.
Yeah.
So that you're using this crystal, this golden tektite. Do you suggest people that don't have this yet, although you can know where to get it from,
Well, just go to
stoneage.co.uk?
Stone Age.
Yeah,
If you can't reach the shop, go to
yeah,
stoneage.co.uk. I've got the most
exactly.
beautiful collection. And whether it's also, again, this is not about money. You can buy a Libyan gold tektite like the piece in your water for £10.
Okay. Okay, so
Imagine
you
that
can work
piece.
with it. And I've got a question, Louis. So I've got my beautiful quartz that I use a lot. If I
Yeah.
use this with the Golden Tektite, they start to have a conversation together.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Well, quartz also magnifies the energy of all other minerals. So again, the quartz will actually magnify the already so powerful Libyan tektite. And if you look at your if you look at your quartz, right? Yeah, if you have that, because you know what you can do if you lay that on the thing, and you can actually lay, because that's a Lemurian, right?
I think so. It's got, yeah,
That's Lemurian quartz.
rutilations on
You
it.
can lay that on one of the facets, and then they two work together. Yes, you can literally put that on top of that to charge up in the evening, and it
Ooh.
will get even stronger. But also, while it's on the quartz, it will infuse its energy into the quartz at the same time. This is all very, very powerful alchemy.
Isn't it ever? And maybe you're getting a blast of it as you're
I'm
watching
already
this or
feeling
feeling it.
this through the whole.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling too. So for
Yeah.
all of you listening or certainly watching on my YouTube channel, if you're listening, head over to the YouTube channel to be able to see what we're actually doing here. But yeah, ooh,
Yes.
super
Also,
powered.
I want to say one thing.
Okay.
Um, Stone Age is the world leader on Libyan tektite jewelry. That is because I understand this stone like nobody else in the world. And I know that I had past lives in Egypt where I was already connected with this stone 5,000 years ago. And this is what I want to make part of my gift to the world, my gift to the transformation of this planet is this stone and the message that it holds, and the message that I know I can really well transmit to other people, because when I talk about this stone, people feel that I'm not making this up. I know this stone inside out. I've worked with this stone so long, and I've meditated, I've slept, I've practiced with this stone. We are part of one. We are part of this great universe that is so full of magic and mystery. And this stone will help us to sort out planet Earth.
Together in community. Let's get back to your band. So just before,
Yes.
I love that you can speak so wonderfully about this Golden Tektite, and
Thank you.
yeah, so inspiring. And but you're
Yes,
saying that you were looking for a band. You needed a really good band to come on board. So to
exactly.
continue
One
those
Sunday afternoon, I'm out and about. There is a local event with different bands around, and we walk through there, and suddenly we look, and there's this band playing, three guys on this stage, making this absolute epic sound. Three guys, drummer, guitarist, bass player, making this absolute epic rock sound. And I was like transfixed watching them. They did covers of Queen, Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Beatles. And I was like, wow, these guys are amazing. Why are they only doing covers? So, and I already watching them, I could see myself up there right in front of them, being their front man. And so hey, the gig was over. I went to have a chat. I did know them a little bit locally already. So I said, look, guys, you are the most epic cover band, rock cover band I've ever seen. Um, I've got 30 original songs. Do you want to get together and try a couple of them and see how it actually resonates between the four of us? The moment from our first edition that we had together, immediately everything just came together just perfectly. And not only they played my songs, but they made my songs even better. They just said, oh, why don't we try this here? Or why don't we do that there? Or what about this riff here? And what about if we all sing with you and in a chorus on that part? And that's how the Alien Shamans were born.
Ooh,
Only Glastonbury.
ooh. You've just given the name away. So I was going to say, so with
Yes, I did.
this super group, basically, because I've seen you play, and the power and the strength,
Yeah,
but also the humor and the
yeah,
joyfulness. But
yeah.
that's because, you know, you're all really good at what you're doing. So that means you can play and have fun with it. So how did you land the name, the Alien Shamans?
Again, it's very interesting, but I had a piece of music from the past, which is a meditation, more like a meditation, where I'm channeling an alien shaman that is doing these real weird sounds and noises, and so when we got together and we said, "Oh, what are we going to call ourselves?" Somehow, this stone said, why don't you call us alien shamans, and that was it. Once I said it, it was like, okay, we're the alien shamans. It's a very, very weird name in a way because nobody knows what an alien shaman is. It's actually, Clara, it's actually a new word because when we decided to become the alien shamans, I looked on Google and there is nothing like that. This two combination of these two words, alien and shaman, did not really exist at all. So of course, all .coms and everything was available because it's a new concept. And this is the thing that I feel I have received these songs from whatever higher source or higher inspiration or higher consciousness. I've received the songs and now I'm transmitting them through the alien shamans to the world. And they're all songs that have to do or address the trouble and the pain the world is going through, but also it addresses solutions and it addresses possibilities. You can always go within. If outside is it's madness and craziness and chaos and war, just go within and find your peace and find your calmness, find your happiness, find your destiny. It's like that's why we're multifaceted spiritual beings and we're into alchemy and we can do that. We can transform situations by intention and by using super powerful gemstones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And another piece that I'd like to bring into this is that the ability we have now to clear on a multidimensional level. So since I've been offering the Akashic record clearing, quantum subconscious clearing that synergizes so beautifully with the elemental qigong, I feel as if that our systems are now ready to clear and cleanse on such a deep level now through all the ancestral
Yeah.
stuff, through all the
Yes.
patterns of behavior, like how we were being brought up as kids, all the things and
Yes.
choices. Because as you were saying, even though it's all mad outside, go within. But when you go within, for some folk, I know earlier on, I remember sort of 20 odd years ago, that was a scary place for me to go. And so I think
Okay.
having like
Yeah.
crystals to help and support, knowing there's like-hearted people there, having tools and techniques like breath work, qigong, yoga, all
Yes.
these things
Yes.
will bring you back to yourself. And I feel that this call back to
Yes.
self is where
Yes.
we truly empower ourselves to be able to step forward and then emanate that energy into the world and be along similar people that have got similar frequency.
Yes, totally. And again, I don't want to keep saying, but again, this stone really, really helps to clear old stuff. It really helps it because you make the decision, I'm going to change now. And why then keep looking back? As long as you really do and manifest the change, you're only going to look forward. So again, this stone's going to help you to say no at the right time as well, because not all about yes, to say no. Maybe you have to say no to certain addictions or no to certain people that surround you, just so you can actually raise your vibration and go towards that way where we call ourselves higher frequency beings or whatever, illuminate, enlighten, never mind about all that. But people that can stand in their power and can resonate a strong, positive energy out to other people that affects them and their surrounding.
Exactly. So when we take care of ourselves, we're also taking care of everyone else because our vibration is is of a higher frequency, or which is the words we're using now, but I'm also feeling a multidimensional expansion or something that almost like words can't describe. We're having to use the words that we can in this language at the moment. But when it
Very
comes
good. Yeah.
to like sound and to like crystals and to like tektites and stones and being with it, we're tuning into subtler but more powerful in a way, ways of having a relationship with ourself. So when you're on stage doing your rock and roll thing and you've got your crystal there, a big huge quartz crystal at the front, you're wearing all your golden tektite in
Yes.
your sparkly outfits and stuff, there is
Yes.
such a joy that you emanate for people in the audience. I mean, everyone there was smiling, laughing. I
Yes.
had the
Totally.
best dance, and
Yes.
that track, an Edge of Time, which I think is the one that's is on
Yes.
YouTube at the moment. You've had
Yes.
how
On
many views
viral.
now? It's gone viral. And what's interesting is that Louis has used AI to come in and help to really vision in the things that you're probably seeing inside your mind.
Yes.
This is what I want to happen here. So
You
it's
know,
a
you're
very
so spot
successful
on with
video.
that, Clara. You see, a lot of people are scared of AI at the moment, and especially people that are in music, or a lot of musicians are actually. There was a big demonstration in London just the other week against AI, and oh, we have to ban this. This is against creativity. I say we have to embrace all new technology and make it work for us. And that's what I immediately did with my AI video. It gave me this opportunity to when I wrote the song Edge of Time and you listen to the words, obviously you can see this is a very, very dramatic journey that I'm going through. I'm on the depths of my being. I'm thrown in the underworld and I'm eaten by jaguars and there's pain and fire and everywhere. But only AI could allow me to bring that to life, those pictures, because there wouldn't be any other way to do that, And so I'm embracing this technology. Also, I want to be, there's no way to go against AI. Literally, we have to go with it and we have to use it. Maybe AI is going to help us to save this planet and not take it over, because that's what they're all like. Oh, AI is going to take over. Maybe AI can become our friend, and maybe AI and us and mankind can turn things around and turn this world back to how it should be.
Well said. I think you're right. I feel you're right. I think to turn against something that is like coming forth anyway, because it is foolish, because it has so many opportunities for us. And again, we need to use absolute discernment when we do this as well. We have to be aware of it. But the more of us that are using it positively, that's going to help other people see that that is possible too, and not to turn against it. Brilliant. So
I didn't have any negative reactions to the video. It's just touching 200,000 views. This is my most successful music video ever. So, what can be wrong with it? I can't wait to do the next one already.
I bet. Well, and you can see that on YouTube, Alien Shamans, and also on Instagram at Alien Shamans. And, or yes, we've already mentioned stoneage.co.uk for your golden tektite, or Crystal Magic by Louis. That's Louis spelled Lui. That's on
Yeah.
Instagram as well.
So the main thing
That
also, I've
we
got the
hang on. Can I just before we go, there's Louis got a very special message, Christmas message for you, and I would love him to now tell us all about his definitive Christmas single that I was lucky enough to see the inaugural performance of and dance like a nutter. It was so
can we
fun.
play
We
it
all
in the
absolutely
background?
loved it. So tell
So
us all
okay,
about this.
so of course, so I wrote 30 songs. I felt wow, and everybody said, "Louis, you're a really good songwriter. You know where you get these words from, kind of thing." And then I've been brought up in a very strong Christian tradition, and I used to be serving the priest and bring him the wine, and I used to sing in the church choir. That was my first experience of singing in public, in a group, and it's such a beautiful experience when you sing together, especially in a church that is full of beautiful lights and stained glass windows, and so I always, Christmas was always such an important day for me. So I thought, wow, Louis, why don't you write a Christmas song? And I was like, okay, that's an interesting challenge, and why not? So I had this little loop going around my head already a couple of years, which was Jingle My Bells, right? Because that's the song is called Jingle My Bells. So I was like, oh, but what am I going to do with it? And it took me a year to get the next line, Jingle My Bells, let me fill your stockings while the sleigh bells are rocking, and we'll all have fun on Christmas Day. So yeah, this is out. Jingle My Bells is out. My video is just crossed 20,000 clicks on YouTube. Jingle My Bells just crossed 20,000, and it's going up really, really quickly. And I just have a real strong feeling with this song because for me, it really captures the essence of Christmas, which is first to have fun, come together with your family, enjoy to eat, enjoy to sing together, enjoy to laugh together, and just having a great time. But also embedded in my song, I think there is this deeper spiritual essence of Christ in there about his birth, how he was born in a shelter, really, but his light was already shining out to the world. And I brought all these ingredients together into a great, fun Christmas rock anthem.
You certainly have. Oh,
if you go online and you go and play Jingle My Bells, that would be great. And share it with your friend. Help me, please, everybody out there, help me to get this message out, this message of joy on Christmas Day. Share with your friends. And what can I say? Jingle your bells at Christmas, because this is all about jingling. Jingling is my new favorite thing. I have become a jingler because it makes me feel better. I jingle now. I shake out things I don't need. Anyway, this is my message for Christmas for everyone out there. Merry Christmas. I know it's a bit far away yet, but it's coming in very, very fast and furious.
oh, thank you, Louis. I am beaming. I've been laughing with you and doing my own little versions of jingling. And,
So
and
if I could ask
very
you,
good.
if
Yeah,
you
well,
maybe you can put a link under the
of course I
thing
will.
so people can actually hear the song and see me
Totally.
performing it.
See you in a fine rendition. And, back in a past life, I used to be in a band called the Eight Track Cartridge Family.
I checked you
And,
out.
and you did check me out because I said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
you were
Louis,
great.
you're doing a combination of like Slade and Sweet and Mud." And you're going, yes, that's the energy that you want. Something that
Yeah.
connects everybody and brings this joy on Christmas Day. I mean, all these serious songs, I know there is a place for them, but there's also a place for Jingle My Bells by Louis Krieg. Is it you or is it the Alien Shamans or a combination? What do you?
It's actually it is Louis Krieg and the Alien Shamans because I wrote the song, I wrote the music, but my boys are just performing it so epically. So it's Louis Krieg
Oh,
and the Alien Shamans.
okay, that's Krieg spelled
Okay,
Krieg.
correct.
Yeah, hang on, a little flash up there. Yeah, we've got that right. So well, let's make this number one for Christmas, shall we?
This is the way I'm really, really confident because we need a new song for Christmas. We need a new number one. We're fed up with Mariah Carey taking that number one spot from our British hits every year. So this Christmas, it's going to be Jingle My
Jingle
Bells
my
on number
bells.
one.
It is, it is. Oh, it's been such fun you coming back onto Chi Time, Louis. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time,
for having
wisdom,
me.
your joy, and everything that you bring to the world. And thank you all for listening or watching to Chi Time with me, Clara Apollo, here on YouTube and on podcast. We'll be back soon with another edition of Ooh, what's going to be next? But until then, keep jingling your bells, keep moving towards the light, and knowing that you're stronger than you think you are. And yeah, get hold of some golden tektite if you can. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep your chi up, my friends. Your energy is important. So are you.
Blessed be. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Love and peace.